And so like some of those year-rounders, like, they're great workers. They've never been late. They always show up. They take the shit shifts. They do all the stuff, but they just don't have the personality that the other people do.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk. I feel like I haven't done an episode with you guys in a while.
It's been quite some time.
Interesting. The three of us.
Where have you been?
The stars. Oh. Don't let Yanni hear it.
Oh, he hears it. He hears everything.
What's up, Nico? I think you said you had a topic today.
Hi. I do have a
Yasu.
topic. It came to me because, as you know, we're in summer
Are
mode.
we?
Yeah, Liz. Where have you been?
No, actually, thank you for enlightening me. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Of course, you're welcome. So when you're a business owner or you're working in a place, when you're hiring for the beginning of the season, you got year-rounders that want jobs, and then you got seasonal people that want jobs. But you have incredible seasonal people, right? They come in, and then they want to leave middle of August. And then you got not so great, but still kind of loyal year-rounders. When you're trying to hire for the beginning of the season or even the year, whatever, who do you pick? Do you pick the A-class seasonal, or do you pick the C-class year-rounder? Because we're all facing the same situation right now with there's 50 people leaving, and then we're like, shit.
Well, I feel like I always shoot to try to find as many year-rounders as possible, but like it's so far and few between. And so I'm also, it's hard for me because like our restaurants are completely different calibers. Like I only have 2 servers on our busiest nights because we're so small. So for me, you know, I can afford in the wintertime to lose a couple year-rounders because I only need one person on per shift moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know if that's plausible yet because you're still brand new, and I think you're going to be busier in the off season of where your location is.
Very true.
But yeah, I believe you just mentioned not too long ago, you're missing 3 people out of the 5 that you have.
Yes.
So
3 of my 5 are leaving me.
And regardless, if you had 2, that's all you needed. What if one's sick or needs to go somewhere? Then you still don't have anybody, correct?
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of like shuffling it in. And I've always found that very hard for myself because I love the class A always because it's best for business. It's good. They're hard workers. They're good with the people. You never have to worry about it. But then they're leaving in one of the busiest moments of the season. And then
Wait, why were they leaving in the busiest part of the season?
They're going to school, going back home. Yeah. I mean, whatever it may be. I mean, if they're going back home overseas, teachers. You know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult to want that year-rounder that's, you know, mediocre. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but as opposed to the class A.
Well, it's also hard
seasonal.
because when you do have like the loyal year-rounders, right? Like they're great too. Like you have really good year-rounders, but your seasonals obviously are better. The problem is that come next season, your A-team seasonal people are like, okay, I want the Friday, Saturday, Sunday shifts. And then you're like, well, this person's put in their time all year round. Yeah. They deserve those shifts, but it's hard because you want those seasonal people.
Gonna segue into that exactly. Why would you give priority over your seasonal when the year-rounder's been there for like the past 2-3 years working them shifts that they don't make any money?
Yeah.
And then give the better shifts to the seasonal people just because they're better at what they do for the season, but they're only here short-lived. It's almost not fair. It's a very teeter-totter fine line with picking the people that you want that's going to reflect who your business is, making it the best, but at the same token, having the loyalty and the honor for those that have been suffered the year-round day, you know, days and nights.
Who are looking forward to like, hey, okay, I've been collecting $50 a shift, but I know that $450 night is coming when I get to work in the summer.
Yeah. Not saying that's an exact number. I know.
No, these are just...
Yes, not to say that it's common that people make that much money.
Yeah.
No, I'm spitballing.
It's plausible, but you know.
It could happen, but...
What do you do? Because like I said, like right now I have myself like 4 or 5 people from each restaurant leaving. And it's like, I can't be at both places at the same time to kind of fill in the gap. And then does the integrity degrade now for the business because there's not enough staff because they're all seasonal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there ever a conversation that you have with a C player that say like, can you just
not be a C player?
Yeah. Can we just work with this in the off season and try to bring up your game? Or are you just accept that they're as good as they're going to get?
It's not even that, but like think about it this way. It's not as busy in the off season, right? So they don't know how to handle the on season as well as some of the seasonal on seasoners.
Say season one more.
Yes.
Season. if a person's working year round and they're working the shittiest shifts, they're not used to having
The volume.
the volume,
Yes.
the capacity. So they're not capable of getting to where it needs to be gotten.
Yeah, I understand
You know
what
what I'm
you're saying.
saying?
I just feel
but they're
like,
good people. They're hard workers too. They've been there.
I just feel like it's bizarre to me that someone could work season after season, right? Granted, the off season, but they're there during the busy season and do that year after year that they don't even get better.
But that's the problem is, I'm sorry, you're giving the better shifts to the seasonal
Right.
because they're better. It's not as busy as it could be for them.
But it's also hard because on the flip side, it's just like, you know, you can have like a really good worker, just personality wise, they're not there. And you can teach anybody with a personality how to do side work, how to keep up with this, how to do that. But you can't teach
No,
personality.
you can't. You're right.
And so like some of those year rounders, like, yeah, they're great workers. They've never been late. They always show up. They take the shit shifts. They do all the stuff, but they just don't have the personality that the other people do. And that's what makes it difficult. It's like, I don't want to let you go and like you are an asset because you are like a great worker. But at the end of the day, on a Saturday night in July, I'm going to put whoever on the floor because they're going to actually connect with tables and make it a different experience for everyone.
I'm glad I'm not you. I'm glad I'm not that position. That's hard. That's a hard thing to
and
have to explain to someone, because I would feel guilty. I would feel like, okay, the year-round person, I just would not be flat out giving the seasonal person all the good shifts. I might give them some, but I wouldn't give them all of them. I would just think that's a slap in the face to the year-rounder.
I agree.
I don't care how if they're only mediocre.
I don't know if you're talking about personal emotion in that sense as opposed to business at that same token, because you're trying to do what's best for the business, right?
Yeah.
But I am with you.
Yeah, but
I'm with you.
Okay, but if that person who comes in every season knows that they're going to get the prime spots, okay, and the year-round person, they're going to not have those spots, it's bad for morale. So you can't tell me the morale doesn't affect the business, because it does.
Yes, it does. And that was my thing, is I'm thinking about not hiring any more seasonal employees and actually pushing through and making the year-rounders become a grade B at least, at the most, if not A, because they don't have to worry about it. Nobody has to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just very difficult in the time and the location that we live in. You know, I'm very grateful. The community has been showering us with love and support, but you can't give to everyone. You can't give to all the servers or the cooks or the bussers or the hostesses or whatnot. You know, you have to do what's best for your business, because the clients that come in, you know, they're trying to get the best experience possible.
Yes.
So if you're cutting out the seasonals for a short stint of a time, I guess it's not going to be as great, but still great, but not as great. I wouldn't feel bad afterwards saying, oh, well, so-and-so's coming back here in May. You know, they're leaving in August, which means you also have to work extra hard. Oh, by the way, I know gave all the crappiest shifts to you, but can you pick up these shifts now that they're leaving? It's a slap in the face.
It really
and
is.
I hate that. You know?
And I mean, I think if you walk into a restaurant, if a guest walks into a restaurant and the morale's bad in the front of the house, it is felt. Maybe they don't realize that they're feeling it, but it is felt.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah, because I've been in the circumstance to where it's just like, you know, in the off season, whether I'm new at a location or whatever the weather may be, like I've been put in the position to where I've accepted like, you know, the off season shifts and blah, blah, blah. And then some people who are teachers, like they get to come in later because they're going back to the school year, or, you know, they're just leaving the school year, but they're getting back onto the schedule. So they want the Saturday, Sunday, but they can't be in there on Friday because they're still getting out of school or whatever it may be. And it's just like, and then they come in and they're like, oh no, I want this section. It's like,
and that's different though. Yeah,
and then it's just like, what do you mean? Where have you been? Like, I've been here doing this the whole time that you've been gone, and now you come back and you can just stroll in and out when you want. And also, like, I think Lena said it. Lena was just like, next job that I take, because she's moving to Philly and she's like, I'm just going to get some kind of job up in the city. She said, I'm going to tell them that I have a kid, because employees with kids get whatever the they want. And I've seen it time and time again. Oh, I have to go pick up my kid from daycare. Oh, my kid's sick, I can't come in. Oh, well, I have to go drop off my kid, so I have to leave early. You got the side work? She's like, moving forward, I'm just going to tell everybody I'm a mom.
She is a shisty little thing, that girl.
I've seen people use the kid card and the excuse was completely made up. Not to say that always happens, but I've seen many parents say, oh, my kid is this and that. And then next thing you know, they're posting social media of them out at a bar.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I'm
Say,
just-
give me proof that you're gonna go pick up your kid or
No,
whatever.
I hear what
you know
you're
what I'm
saying. I just think
just kind of have to go with it. Yeah.
that's not my problem.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's very difficult. And obviously, I just stepped into a situation like where we do have a kid, which I told my parents, I'm like, you're going to come here and help pick up slack wherever I can, because I can't drop everything with the position that I'm in. But there's other people, again, like certain servers who have kids, and they're just like, okay, like, sorry, I got to leave early because I have to go switch off, whether it be with the parents or whatever. And it's just like, it'd be one thing if it was every now and again, every once in a blue moon. It's another when it's every single shift.
Yeah, it's
Every single shift.
they're taking advantage of that.
I'm gonna get me started on this shit.
But here's to hiring more year-rounders.
Yeah.
I love you seasonal people. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I think the year-rounders are there more, going through the brim of the pits of the garbage sewage
Oh my
system.
God.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this. I would rather have a team of and I like to work with A players.
Of
That's
course you
my
do.
preference.
It's because you're an A-player person.
But I'm okay. I'd be okay with working with a team, having a team of C, and then my personal goal would be just to bring them up.
Elevate
Raise them,
them.
of
Right?
course.
I would rather have that than be surrounded with staff that's a bunch of A players who are arrogant and they
Oh,
are
of course.
narcissists and they care about their own shit. I would much rather deal with the C players at
Absolutely.
that point.
Of
So,
course.
yeah.
Because there's only room for one arrogant A-player.
That's me.
Right. All right. Well, thanks,
All right,
ladies.
well,
Yep.
if you're looking for
Appreciate
year-round
yous.
work,
If you're a C player and you're looking for a job,
Restaurant Punk out.
out.
bye.
I now recognize how annoying I was when I first moved back here from Texas, because every time everyone was like, this is hot, I'd be like, you don't know what hot is. This feels great. And now my parents are here and I'm sweating bullets and they're like, it's a beautiful day outside. I'm like, eat a bag of dicks.
You tell your parents to eat a bag of dicks. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I have told my dad.
And then they
one time.
did. I'm kidding.
What you got? What do you want?